Patricia.
Hello guys, it's Sebastian and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, I'm so excited because finally I am back at it again with another photography related video. And so for today, I would not be doing a self-portrait type of thing. For today, I'd just be sharing with you guys my creative portfolio when it comes to the field of photography, if that makes any sense at all. But before all that, I would just be sharing with you guys how I got into photography, why I started doing it, how I began loving it, how I decided that I just want to do it. I don't know. So yeah, a quick story time of how I got into photography, why I started doing it, how I started doing it. So okay, ever since I was a child, I've always had this like great big love for photography, to the extent that every summer in my school I would join the photography or the photojournalism summer class. But like that was actually not the beginning. I feel like my dad was actually the one who inspired me to get into photography. But like what inspired me the most is when he got featured in IMAG. If you guys don't know what IMAG is, it is basically a photography magazine if I'm not mistaken, and some of his photos were featured there. And so I was inspired so much, but not the type of inspiration where, oh, he can do it, I can do it too. He did it, I can do even better than him. That is not the inspiration that I got from him. The inspiration that I got from the feature thing that I just said is the type where I just also wanted to capture things that I think are beautiful. That is the type of inspiration that I got from my dad, and not like the envious type of inspiration, which be kind of like toxic in the long run. And so I not let that. Wait, is my framing too awkward? Okay, so that is basically how I got into photography. But like my dad's focus was like more on landscapes. But I feel like personally, as I've ventured more through the journey of photography as a whole, I became like more passionate with portraits, or basically people. And so for now, I'll be sharing with you guys the photos that I've taken through the years. These are just decent pictures. I have lots of pictures, but obviously not all of them are that decent to be shared on YouTube. And yeah, so this is the first photo, and this was taken when I was in 8th grade. This was actually a school project. We were just tasked to take a picture of something that could be found in our homes. I wasn't actually sure what I was doing before, but all I remember is that I was on the top floor of our house then, and I saw these two birds, and the sunset was also pretty that time because the sunset was kind of like not the yellow usual color, orange-ish. This has more purples into it, as you guys can see. And so this is what I submitted. And the title that my dad suggested is Just the Two of Us, which like just made this narrative of these two birds being lovers. And so that is the first photo that we have here. And so this is the next photo. This is the first portrait that I'm sharing with you guys today. This was taken when I was also, actually no, it was taken when I was in 9th grade when we went to Indonesia for a youth camp. So this is my friend, and we actually shot this for an ad sponsored by Sprite. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, anyway, this is an old photo, but the edit that I did in this one was kind of like recent, kind of like just last year edit, because I did not have the time before to edit this one. And so yeah, I recently just finished editing this one, but I really like the vibes of this video, like also the retro feels of the edit, because it has tints of green and like the contrast is up, which reveals more of that very earthy tones in a skin, if that makes any sense at all. Also clarity, and I just felt nostalgic, to be honest. And so this is the next photo of my friend Chantal, which you guys already know. Also a short disclaimer, given that a lot of these photos that I'll be sharing with you are portraits or of my friends and all that. Of course, I asked their permission if they would want me to include their pictures in here. Luckily, they gave me the permission to do so. So that's that. Anyway, going back to the photo, this is a picture of Chantal when we went to Sky Ranch in Pampanga, because there was a quick sale before of the tickets, like 50% off or something on all of the rides. And so we decided, oh, I feel like it's like something like Unli ride or something. I forgot exactly what it was. Yeah, this was in a carousel, and It was just so cool. I was actually using the 18 to 55mm in this one. I guess. I'm not sure. But my favorite lens for portraits is actually the 50mm ones. And I actually invested on that lens. I just wanted that lens because I've also seen some reviews of that in YouTube, Brandon and all that, Jessica, if you guys watch them. This photo was taken under the year where the trend of like edits was like the teal orange one. So basically this is the feels of the photo as well. And yeah, that's it. And for the next photos, this is of my friend. If you guys have watched my 21 outfits for 2021, if you guys have seen my pearl necklace over there, I was also able to tell you guys that it was from my friend's IG shop. Now this is that friend, and this is actually my first time shooting like using a flash because I'm not used to that. I'm just used to, you know, all of the natural light, sun, harsh lighting and all that. But we went different with this one. We went to World of Fun in CSI. It is actually an arcade, something like that. And so we decided to use the flash. I'm not sure if we got kicked out. No, we did not. But we got kicked out at another location, which I'll be sharing with you guys later on in this video. We got kicked out. So yeah, also this was the year of the teal-ish edit. So you can see here in the denim, I have the teal vibes going on in there. And yeah, for the next one, I feel like this was also on the same day, but we basically just spent the whole day doing a photo shoot. And so this is the next one. This was actually color graded, obviously, because the leaves were just green. So I just decided to make it look warmer by adjusting the hue of the color green in this one and also dragging the luminance down to make it look darker, kind of have that more haunting vibes to it. And I super duper like this picture, but one thing that I regret not doing before is fixing the hair. Because if you guys look closely into the leaves, there's this one leaf where like the hair was like on top of that leaf, and I just was not able to save it through editing. And yeah, that's a thing that I kind of like regret. So yeah, just another tip that you need to make sure that, of course, there would be no distractions into the photograph that you're shooting later on. But anyhow, I just like how this photo turned out to be. This was still when I was in 10th grade. 10th grade, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Okay, so the next one is with my another friend. The three of us actually went the whole day doing photo shoot that time. I'm not sure, I may have forgotten about it, but yeah, this was actually the time where graffitis were like kind of a thing when it comes to photo shoots, and there was this mural in San Juan for that time, and we decided to shoot there. And actually the edit on this one was, I don't know, it's too bright, too colorful, too vibrant. And I even added this fake bokeh on top of my subject, which I don't know if it helps at all. But yeah, did I like this before? Yes. Do I still like it even up to this day? Maybe I would have chosen a different angle, make the colors a bit darker because I feel like it's just too light in here. It's kind of like a commercial picture or something, and I want my photos to kind of like as editorial as they can be, but this photo is just not giving off that vibes, and so maybe that's the reason why I'm not into it at the moment as much as how I was into it before, if that makes sense at all. So yeah, that's that. Also in 10th grade, if I'm not mistaken. Also the photos that I'll be sharing with you guys, I'm not sure if they are in chronological order, but I'll just be basically sharing with you guys the time that I shot this as to what I remember. Moving on, we have these photos. This was actually a school project and we just turned it into a series because we were actually just asked to submit one output. But basically we did different settings, different like backstories for each photo, and we just decided to opt for this one. So this is the one that we submitted, and the topic that we had for this is poverty. And I know that there are a lot of factors when it comes to poverty. There are a lot of types, but the poverty that we picked during that time is material poverty, if I'm not mistaken. So basically it is what everybody knows as poverty. So it is like one of the most common types of poverty. So yeah, we worked by 3, so basically these were my 2 group mates, and I just remember them just like this the whole time we were on shoot in town, even though we were changing locations and all that. To be honest, my initial output of this one was this one. However, my dad suggested me to try editing it in black and white, and it really helped tie the picture together, if that makes any sense at all, because I feel like when it was in color, it could be all over the place. It could look like a mess because of a lot of colors that are present in the picture. But yeah, when my dad suggested to just edit it in black and white, I did, and so I liked the black and white better. And also in this photo, the colored one with like the edited paper and all that, I feel like it was just too much. Like the editing was like so strong that it overpowered the message we wanted to convey in the first place. So I just decided to opt for the black and white one because it was more simple, more raw, I feel like, and it has more character and emotion to it as compared to the overly edited colored one. Okay, so this is the next one. This was actually also for a school project when we were in 9th grade, if I'm not mistaken, because we were tasked to advertise kind of like a business that we're comfortable with, and the thing that we picked is a clothing business. And so we did everything. We have a name, a video commercial, a working website. I feel like we gave too much, but yeah, we enjoyed it anyway. And so these are the photos. These were taken also in the murals, like what I've said a while ago, in San Juan, La Union, if you guys are from the Philippines. Yeah, I'm just so happy with how these photos turned out to be, most especially this one, because like the lighting or the harsh shadow kind of like added character. Personally, this was a challenge to edit because obviously the raw photo was like super overexposed and all that, and it was actually not easy to edit at all because you also need to play around with the tones, drag the highlights down to reveal more features and all that, yada yada yada. So that's it for the picture. And also I forgot to add this a while ago, but these 3 photos were the ones when we got kicked out of 7-Eleven. I don't know why we got kicked out of 7-Eleven because we basically also ordered there, but I don't know, maybe it is against the rules and all that. I don't actually know, but I just remember taking photos as much as I can, as fast as I can, and they also strike poses as fast as they could, just so that we could make the kicking out situation somewhat worth it. And so I feel like it was worth it in these photos. I love these photos so much. Only if I had more time, I feel like we could have better photos, but we got kicked out, man. Okay, so moving on to this one. This was actually in my 9th grade, and it was actually for a school project again. This was, if I'm not mistaken, product photography, and I had mortar and pestle as my subject, and so I just decided to also add this bokeh in PixArt, if you guys didn't know that. I also used PixArt before when I didn't still know how to use Photoshop, in adding in adding bokehs and all the other elements that could also be added in Photoshop. Okay, so the next picture is a book sitting on top of a chair, because I feel like it is not that conventional to put a book on top of a chair as if it were a person. There was a page in this book where it literally said, "Our backs tell stories no books have the spine to carry." And I feel like that's where I got the inspiration of personifying a book and putting it in a chair, because I feel like it's just not very usual of you to see books that are placed on top of a chair. Or I don't know, maybe I'm just a boomer or something like that, but I haven't seen much like this before. And yeah, I'm just super happy with how this photo turned out to be. I also added a glare from PixArt as well. Moving on to the next photos, I feel like these were taken when I was in 10th grade. I'm not sure, but that's what I remember. So basically this was my first time using Lightroom as my main editor, because then I just used Visco, Snapseed, or PixArt for the editing. But this was the first time where I used Lightroom in my photos. But yeah, it was an experimental stage for me, a learning step for me, if that's what you call it. And so I just like this photo so much because it just had that urban vibes going on, because we were on top of a marketplace at this time. And yeah, now these photos, on the other hand, were taken when I was a lot younger. I feel like this was in 8th or 9th grade. I just did a small photo shoot in the room of one of my friends, and this was a time where I was still using the 8 and 55mm. Okay, so fast forward to 11th grade. Okay, so before we had classes, we had this photo shoot first with 2 boyfriends, Chantel and Maureen. Kind of like relax and let go of the pressure that we've been feeling, because obviously we would be entering the senior high school department and we just needed something to shake the pressure off, and so we just did a photo shoot. So these are the photos that we got. This is the first location that we had. This was in a laundry shop in San Juan La Union, Oaxaca. If you guys haven't been there yet, the staff there are actually super kind, even though we were literally just there to take pictures and not get any laundry done. I don't know, they're just super kind. For this shoot, we actually had 3 locations and 3 outfits as well. So yeah, we basically shot the whole day. And for the second one, this is at a restaurant, but kind of like has that airplane vibes, because there's also a hotel that is airplane inspired when it comes to the structure. I don't know if that's what you call it, but yeah, these were the photos that we were able to take. Very editorial, most especially this one where the hand was like blocking the camera. I love that so much. I used to do this pose all the time, but it just doesn't work out. But yeah, in this photo it worked exactly how I wanted it to work, and so I'm just super duper happy for that. And here is Chantel as well, smiling, modeling, making everything look good. And these are just photos of Chantel and Marine, and kind of like the lower part of the airplane-ish designed hotel, something, I don't know. We
didn't even order anything from
here because I feel like it was closed that time. Anyway, here's also an OOTD shot of Chantel during that day. And moving on to the last portraits that I shot before this whole quarantine began is for a project when I was in 11th grade. Okay, so we have the subject E-Tech, which stands for Empowerment Technologies, and our performance task was to do a magazine cover. And I was grouped with Chantel, Allison, and Ramsel. They're all my friends, and we just thought of having this very flowy shoot, very like women empowerment-esque type of feels into the magazine. And so this is the one that we submitted. However, there are also a lot of options that we cannot choose from. But yeah, here are some of the options that didn't make the cut to be our final magazine cover for our project. And yeah, I feel like we've just gone above and beyond in this set, because we literally also rented the gowns that they used. And also for this specific photo, we didn't have any hand mirror, if that's what you call it, so I decided to edit one. So basically in the whole photo shoot, Chantal was just like doing this during this particular picture. And so my top 3 favorites are actually this one. So this is the, I would say, 3rd runner-up, and I just love it so much because of the backlight and how it hit the hair of one of my groupmates over here. And yeah, I just love this one so much. And so my second favorite, which is like a close fight between the one that was submitted and the one that we also liked. So this was like our almost magazine cover, and I just like it so much because it screams flat out women empowerment. I like the pillar behind them. I love the color scheme so much, and we just super like this one. I love how it looks so editorial, how it looks like a magazine cover. To be honest, I don't know if I'm just flattering myself out over here, but I feel like I genuinely love this photo at all. And yeah, that is basically the last portrait photography that we have in here. And for the last photo, this is actually a picture of a flower, which was taken when we were already in quarantine, lockdown and all that. I just used my Canon G7X Mark II for this one actually. I also liked my edit on this one. I actually added the bokeh once again in PixArt, and I just love how glowy it looks and how there's like this light that's coming inside of the flower. I don't know if that's just me, but that's how it looks like to me. And yeah, I'm just so happy of how this turned out to be. So yeah, that's the last photo for my creative photography portfolio, something like that. And so if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up to help me out with the algorithm. Yeah, if you want to, you could also comment down other video suggestions you'd like to see me do next. So that will basically be it for this video. This has been Sebastian, and I hope that we could spread love a little more often. I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.